The post-agreement has many challenges for the ethnic groups, especially in those zones where there is not a homogeneous population. Those regions, whereas today they are called intercultural regions, there are many challenges that the post-conflict brings, because in those zones there are serious disputes over land due to the use of natural resources, and as we know, there is an unequal legal and political treatment towards the Afro, indigenous, and rural communities. Then the post-agreement could be a way to equilibrate methods and somehow the rules of the game. One chance so the peasant can also have a possibility of dialogue against those lands that he or she has been demanding. And of course, from what we work on the Javeriana University, we see it as a huge opportunity to recuperate traditional lands for the ethnic groups that coincide almost all of them with wastelands that are subject of serious processes of invasion, where the restitution policies up until now have been insufficient in understanding the phenomenon of dispossession. In a way, government properties, disposition of public use properties, which more than from the state are from the communities in specific, that have their complex socio-ecological systems. And those are possibilities, of course, there are difficulties and risks. And a specific risk derives from the coincidence of the peace agreement with a boom of free trade agreement signatures of Colombia with other countries. And that means a moment for development policies. Development models that also put at risk the ethnic territorialities and that puts a break on peace. We believe that development does not necessarily punctuate other types of policies and not always has an articulation like is today being proposed so close to peace, especially not with the models that are thought for Colombia. So, the microenergetic and especially the agro-industrial agendas in some zones, even in touristic emporiums so close to peace, limit and challenge the implementation of the land restitution policies, and in a way, also are going to limit the implementation of the peace agreements, mainly due to these so liberal development models, so concentrated on economical growth, so concentrated on free trade. There are some risks that should be observed because otherwise we will be leaving the implementation limping. And we will be again subjecting the rural communities in ethnic groups to a failure in this bet that somehow these communities have trusted the state. And that this is a possibility of an unarmed solution of the conflict. When the actor in front of you is not an armed actor, but a company demanding also its rights there, well, the asymmetries deepen. So this is one of the risks of the post-agreement, and it's going to be very important to continue thinking, and above all, listening to what the ethnic groups and the rural communities have to say about all this. The keys are there, the answers are there.